Today, we are going to talk about how the home selling process in Central Massachusetts works and step by step what you can expect when you list your home. Hi, I'm Linda Hafner, top producing realtor at Reiki Realty in Central Mass, Worcester County. If you haven't had a chance to check out my last two videos, I talked exclusively about some of the steps you need to take before listing your home. If you haven't checked them out, please go back to my channel and check those out. But now we're going to go right into the steps for listing your home on the market. One thing I think a lot of home sellers don't realize is how many moving pieces and people there are when selling a home. There are list agents, selling agents, buyer's agents, attorneys, appraisers, lenders. The list goes on, and also the buyers. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces, and organizing all of these people, getting them all on the same page, coordinating all of this to get you to closing is a complicated process. So the first step that you want is to make sure that you pick a selling agent that you like. Not just one who's going to do the job, although that is super important also. You want the combination of both. You want someone who has a very good reputation and is easily found online, because let's face it, today's day, everything happens online. People are going to see your home first online, through whether it be the MLS or Zillow.com or some website. That's where buyers go. And you want someone who can present your home as professionally and beautifully as possible to attract as many buyers as possible. My suggestion is interview more than one realtor. Figure out which one has the best strategy to sell your home and which one you vibe with the best. Really, because you're going to be working with this person for months. I mean, minimum 3 months, possibly up to 6 months. If you have a home to sell and also want to buy a home and you're working with that same agent and it's a very complicated process, you need someone you can trust. You need someone who knows the business and has the experience and knowledge and guidance to get you through this so that it's easy for you. Once you find that realtor, you want to listen to what their suggestions are and make your decisions with their suggestions in mind. But of course, you have your own mind and you can tweak that a little bit, but you want to figure out what the best ways to prepare your home are. Do they recommend home staging? Do they recommend removing some things, decluttering? Listen to the suggestions, get your home ready to sell. That that takes is up to you. How much stuff do you have? How much stuff do you have to get rid of? That is something you and your realtor should work out together in that time frame of how long it's going to take you to get ready. Part of that preparation period also involves figuring out what your costs are, figuring out what you're going to net, figuring out your next plan of action. Where are you moving to? Make sure you have all of that. Sign the listing agreements and documents, and there are all of the disclosures that protect you legally. All of that goes and happens, and then you schedule the photos. When you've signed all the documents, when your house is all ready to go, and then it's picture time. There are tons of realtors out there. Please do your home the courtesy of choosing a realtor who uses professional photographers. You're selling a $3 to $1 million type property depending on the list price. Do you really want to use an iPhone to represent that home on the market? No. Yes, we are in a seller's market in 2022. Yes, you can get multiple offers on your home. However, the marketing strategy that your list agent uses could make or break how many offers you get and how many opportunities you get. And the most important thing is that the photos you take are taken by a professional photographer, because that is going to represent your home in the best possible light and bring in the most buyers, which is what you want because that's going to give you more offers so that you can choose the best option for yourself. So when you are interviewing realtors, please make sure you ask the question, what type of photographer do you use for photos? The photo process itself shouldn't take that long. You're talking an hour, maybe two, depending on whether you're going with the aerial photos, which I do for properties that have a lot of land, which I have a lot of in central Massachusetts. I'm like in the suburbs of Worcester. If you're in an area that doesn't have a nice surroundings, maybe you can skip that. It all depends on the property. Every property should be evaluated differently, and that will affect how much time the photos take. Then you get the photos back usually within a day, quick and easy. Once you have those photos back, you're ready to list. You're ready to go live on the MLS. And once it goes on the MLS, it's going to shoot out to every website out there. Zillow, Realtor.com, individual agents' websites. I mean, it's going worldwide once it's on the MLS. That is the power of the MLS. It's fabulous. Hopefully, you have already discussed the strategy of when you actually want to list, what date you're putting it on the market, what date you're showing it, and all of that. My personal strategy that I like to do is I like to put the house on the market the beginning of the week, and then hold off on all showings until the weekend. And the reason I do this is because sellers get overwhelmed with the number of showing requests if they're living in the home. If you're not living in the home, if you have a vacant home you're selling and you've already moved, great. Then you can open it up. Plus, if you do want to take advantage of a multiple offer situation, which is really in the seller's best interest. That's why you want realtors working for you. As a home seller, it is in your best interest when there are this many buyers interested in purchasing your home to try to get the highest and best offer. Now, different realtors have different strategies on how to do that, and these are some of the things that you want to talk about and make your decisions accordingly. Once you're ready to go on the MLS, you need to figure out, hopefully you've already discussed this previously with your agent, how the showing process is going to go. If it's a vacant home, you can choose to allow showings whenever you want, but if you live in the home, it can be very overwhelming for a seller to allow showings whenever. I suggest picking showing times that work for my seller so that they can still live in their home while they're selling it. A really good plan is to post to the MLS in the beginning of the week, hold off on showings if you're living in the house until the weekend, and then hold open houses both Saturday and Sunday, and maybe extend them for extra hours for showings so that the majority of people can get in within a certain number of days so that you can live in your home and you're not inconvenienced too much. Because if you allow buyers to dictate when they want, you're never going to be able to live in your home. It just gets to be too much because that's how many buyers there are in relation to homes on the market. Hopefully you can figure out a highest and best deadline in 2022. Pretty much every home on the market is experiencing this. You have a certain number of days to see the home, and then highest and best is due. This is the most profitable way to the seller. As a buyer, unfortunately, they only have a short window. Once the deadline is set, your realtor will organize all of the offers, and then you two choose a time to discuss the pros and cons of each offer. This is where it gets tricky. Usually the highest offers have the worst terms or the riskiest type of financing. So you really need your realtor to explain all of this to you. This can be done, again, in a couple of hours. Hopefully your realtor will sort through it all and summarize it for you and make it easier for you to digest so that it's not so overwhelming. But as a home seller, if you get 6 to 12 offers, I know a couple of months ago, Worcester homes were getting up to 30 offers. I mean, it was crazy. That was when the interest rates had not gone up to almost 6%. That's when they were still in the threes. So things are slowing down a little, but you just want a way to organize the offers in a way that makes it easy and less stressful for you. Choose the best offer, get that offer signed, and then part of what's going on now is a lot of homes are being sold without a home inspection. If you chose an offer that waived the home inspection, it is definitely an easier process for a seller. The home inspection is known as a period of renegotiation. That has typically been when buyers have an opportunity to say, hey, I didn't know that, this plug didn't work. I want $1,000 off of that because I'm going to have to fix that. If you can eliminate that as a home seller, do you want to do that? Yeah. Is it advantageous to the buyer? No. If you don't have a home inspection, you can miss that whole 10-day period of renegotiation, waiting for them to do the home inspection, come back with their requests and all of that. If you do choose an offer with a home inspection, then you have 10 days in Central Mass where they can come back and say, I want this done, I want that done, I want to reduce the price by this much. So this is all going to depend on which offer you choose. Home inspection situation over. Next, you sign purchase and sale agreement, and that usually happens within 2 weeks of an accepted offer in Central Mass. The attorney will draw up a purchase and sale agreement, and the buyer and seller attorney will protect their clients and find common ground, and then they will have it signed. Once it's signed, a second deposit is going to be due from your buyer that goes into an escrow account. Once the purchase and sale agreement is signed, the appraisal is ordered. The appraisal process could be an entirely new renegotiation period unless you accepted no appraisal contingency with your offer. That is something you should be discussing with your agent before you even accept the offer, but just kind of a side note you want to keep in the back of your mind. If you want to avoid a renegotiation of appraisal, talk to your realtor about how to do that. As a seller, you don't even have to be at the closing. You need to sign the paperwork that your seller attorney wants. You can give them power of attorney. There's a couple different ways you can handle it, but you don't physically go to the closing. The closing is between the buyer, the buyer's lender, buyer's attorney. They are the ones dealing with the closing. As you can see, this is a very complicated process. There are a lot of steps involved. Everyone has to be on the same page. I love helping people buy and sell at the same time. It's kind of what I specialize in because I am a type A personality. I have to get things done yesterday. Nothing gets past me. So if you are looking for someone to sell your home and help you buy your next one, please reach out to me. In the meantime, I'd love to connect. Connect to me. Leave me a comment. Leave me a message. Subscribe. Check me out on TikTok and Instagram. I'm there probably 5 times a week, and I'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. Also, check out my next video where I'm going to talk about what the hidden costs are involved in selling your home in Central Massachusetts.